Hello, welcome to the NBA News Show. I'm your host Seth, and let's get into it. This is the news from the beginning of July to now, August 6th. Now, one of the biggest things in the NBA community, as many of you know, is Kyrie Irving, the star of Cleveland, has asked for a trade out of Cleveland. Now, first, let's get into it was behind LeBron's back. Kyrie was in a meeting with the Cavs in the front office, and he pretty much just told them straight up, "Hey, I want to lead my own team, and I want to trade." And LeBron didn't know about it until the rumors started flowing in, and that's why he was blindsided by it. And just LeBron's very upset by it, and they're not really exactly on good terms right now. As of right now, the Wolves, the Suns, and the Heat are the only teams that have a chance at trading for Kyrie now, because the Wolves are the least likely right now because they're not willing to trade Andrew Wiggins, which they're about to sign to a contract extension for 5 years. The Suns, however, have most likely the biggest chance of landing him due to LeBron and Bledsoe being really close ever since Kyrie has asked for the trade. And the Suns have all of the assets for trading for Kyrie because the Cavs have stated that they want young talent and then a good, nice veteran to help the team move forward, and some draft picks that'll definitely help with landing Kyrie. And the Heat, well, they have Goran. The rumor is that they're about to offer Justice Winslow, Josh Richardson, Goran Dragic, and some picks for Kyrie. Personally, as a Heat fan, I don't see it happening. I just see him landing with the Suns. But this is a business, and you really never know. The Wolves not interested. That's another thing, is that, they don't want to give up Andrew Wiggins. So they're thinking, you know what, maybe we just shouldn't have Kyrie. Maybe it'll mess up our core for right now, because they have a pretty solid lineup with Jeff Teague, Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins, Karl Anthony Towns, and Taj Gibson. They have they are most likely going to go into the playoffs. Will it happen, and if so, when? Personally, do I see it happening? It's a 50-50 chance, because we all said that Carmelo would get traded out of New York, but, that never happened, and I can see LeBron and Kyrie making up and them going at it even harder than ever and going into the finals and getting revenge at the Golden State Warriors. If so, when? If they do trade Kyrie, it'll most likely be before the season, and if not before the season, I don't see it happening. And if it does, it'll happen at trade deadline. But that's all for Kyrie right now. Next is Dwight Howard was traded to the Hornets. This sort of shocked the whole league because, as many of you know, Dwight grew up in Atlanta. Dwight in Atlanta, when he signed with Atlanta, he hyped that city up hard. Everyone was hyped. Everyone, playoffs. They went into the playoffs. They didn't do good, very well. And out of nowhere, they just traded Dwight to the Hornets. And even Dwight was shocked because the Hornets never gave any signals to Dwight like, hey, we're going to trade you, or hey, we don't really have interest in you playing for our team anymore. And, that was messed up of them. Is this his last stop? Personally, I don't see it. When he becomes a free agent, I see him leaving if he doesn't like it, or I can see him being traded again. But personally, my opinion is I see him getting traded one more time, and that will be to the Orlando Magic, where he first started off, and I see him retiring there. Why was he traded? He was traded because the team didn't have faith in him anymore, and they just weren't a good fit because, as many of you know, Dwight's career has lacked, efficiency, and he hasn't really led a team to anything, and he's definitely declined over the years, but I see him going at it with the Hornets and really going strong with Kemba at the point guard, and Kemba helping him out. Can he go back to prime time? I see it personally. I don't see him getting, 30 points a game and 20 rebounds or anything crazy like that. But, I can see it being 15 points and maybe 10 rebounds. I see him having a solid year. for Dwight, and hopefully leading the Hornets into something good. Next up is Gordon Hayward to Boston. This was a very, very close call. He was reportedly on the edge to join the Heat, but I guess he chose the Celtics. And personally, as a Heat fan, I'm happy for him in Boston. That seems like a really cool place for him to go play with IT and reunite with his coach Brad Stevens, which coached him in college, and that's just a good pair altogether. Wrong reports. As a Heat fan, if I see anyone reportedly signing with the Heat, I'm on top of that. I was at a family party when this is all going down, and everyone's like, why are you running back to your phone and stuff like that? 1 minute, it was Gordon Hayward leaning towards Miami. Next, Gordon Hayward's and his agent upset by reports that he would go to Miami, and going to restart his whole thinking process, and then the next day he chose Celtics, because we all knew deep inside he was going to Boston, no matter how many, reports said, oh, he's going to go to Miami, he was going to Boston. And, personally, I think anyone that was thinking that he would go back to Jazz is insane, because, he tried to, I don't know if many of you know this, but he was trying to leave before to go to the Hornets to play with Kemba, and ever since then they've had a rocky relationship, and it's just, yeah. Does he make them contenders? Personally, I don't see them being, Cleveland contenders, but I see it sort of being on the low, which they definitely have the potential to be serious contenders, but I personally think they need to trade Jay Crowder for someone also to help them out become that strong team that everyone knows they can be. Next up, Carmen, what's going on with Melo? Why is he requesting trades 1 minute and then saying he didn't say that the next? Is he Houston bound? The reports are, as of right now, he is not, and the Rockets do not want to trade for him anymore, and he had a good meeting with the Knicks' new GM, and supposedly he wants to stay. We don't know. Honestly, I don't believe anything I'm hearing right now, and I'm just sort of going with the flow. Is he staying a Knick? That's another thing. No one really knows. I personally see it. He will most likely, but you really never know with this. False reports. There are many, many false reports out there about Melo. One was saying that he reportedly told everyone on the team that he wanted to go to Houston no matter what, and he just wasn't going to play for a Knick anymore, and he hated New York and all this stuff, and then it wasn't true. He wanted to go to the Bulls. That wasn't true, and you really never know what with Melo. At the end, he will most likely stay a Knick until further notice, honestly. Next, Nike and NBA have officially started their little partnership, and I am so excited because Adidas was terrible. There were times where NBA and Adidas were not getting along, where, the NBA didn't put Adidas' logo on any of their jerseys, and this and that, and I'm just so happy it's Nike, because Nike has NFL, and now they have NBA. They're really starting they're going really far with their franchise right now. Jerseys are releasing. I believe it's the Celtics, the 76ers, the Kings. There might be a couple more that already released their Nike jerseys. They're not released out to the public to buy yet. That'll be sometime this month. But exciting news. It is finally launched, and we can all take a big breath. Finally, after 2 years of waiting. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you click that subscribe button and you click that like button. I would love to see your comments and see what you think about today's video. Anyways, guys, have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.